Morning, everyone. Well, the spring is in the air, the birds are chirping outside, and it's a beautiful day in Hawaii. And are you ready to duplicate your team? Well, listen up, okay? I'm Gale Bates, CEO of MyMentorBiz.com, and I help leaders grow million-dollar teams. We work on systems and we work on strategies that help you scale and grow your team, okay? And so today, we are starting a whole brand new series, and it's a series that I'm calling 7 Ways to Duplicate and Grow Your Team. And if you're on board today, just say a little hello. Hey, Amy, glad you've joined. Okay, fantastic, glad you're here. And so basically we're going to be talking today about building and growing your team with a duplication formula. And the formula is actually all in the Calendar Club Team Booking System workbook that is available for you. And today we are going to be working on page 30 of the system. Okay, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit more than actually what's on the page, but you're going to love it. So, when I was building my million-dollar team, I really didn't have any systems. I didn't have any strategies in place. I just really wanted it. And so I truly threw myself into finding ways that really worked best so that I wasn't reinventing and trying things that didn't work and throwing them on the wall that weren't sticking, okay? And so what I came up with is the system that's in this Calendar Club Team Booking System. Because the other thing I find today, many leaders are struggling with team members that just don't communicate with you, right? I hope you're reflecting on this. We also have, there's not enough consistency going on with the team, and just the sales are fluctuating. And when that happens, you really do need to have a formula in place so you don't go crazy, because you have to also be working on your personal business as well as your team business. And so today I have a new series starting for you, and it's a formula. And if you work on these 7 things that I'm going to be sharing with you over the next few weeks, you're going to find that your business will begin to scale and grow. So we're going to talk first about the pace of your business. We're going to talk about a communication system. We're going to go over how to truly formulate and work with your booking calendar, with your team booking calendar. We're going to talk about having a coffee chat culture. And number 5, we'll be talking about having an being an influential trainer. Hey, Dee, glad you're here today. Number 6, we're going to really delve into that first 90 days. And number 7, we're going to talk a little bit about rising stars. So this is a formula. This is truly when I threw myself into finding ways to grow my team on the fast track, which is what I wanted to do. And I built my million-dollar team in 3.5 years. It doesn't happen overnight, okay? But this is what we're going to be working on. So today I'm going to be talking about setting the pace, okay? And setting the pace is about leading by example. And it's pretty simple, but it does mean you have to truly step up and show your team how to do this by leading by example and by sharing with them your journey on how successful you are at doing all the activities that we do in a direct sales business. Again, this is no secret. It's there. You get to do it every day just like everyone else. So I'm going to just go, I want you to ask yourself, and if you want to write these down, I want you to write them down, because I want you to make sure that you are setting the pace, okay, and making sure that you are doing these things, because your team, when they see you doing these things, hey, April, glad you joined us. Hey, Cindy, hi, glad you're all here today. We're talking about having this duplication formula, and we're going to go over 7 ways to do that And the first one we're talking about today is setting the pace. And I know many of you who are on this call today definitely do set the pace. So it's about looking at how many bookings each month you're doing as a leader. So think about that. You know, if you want your team to be doing 6 bookings a month, and that's that 6-pack magic that I talk about, you may make sure that you're hitting those 6 bookings every month. Now, 6 is about having, 1 a week with a hostess and maybe 2 Facebook parties or 2 vendor events. But those 6 events happening every month without fail, when your team sees you doing that, they know it's simple. They know it's doable, and they will follow your pace. And similarly, parties per week. You want as many people on your team holding parties every week. So are you doing 1 a week at least and sharing that information in your team Facebook group? And when I say sharing that information, you're not really bragging about, oh, I have 1 party this week and it was fabulous. You're sharing your journey. You're sharing your experience. What happened at your party, okay? That's letting the team know that you definitely are setting the pace. You're the person out there holding parties. You're letting them know what it's like. And sometimes maybe there's a little glitches. You might want to share how you overcame those glitches, okay? So again, that's great. Amy, I'll answer your question in just a few minutes. Okay, so new customers. Think about it. How many new customers did you bring on last month, okay? How many new customers do you want to bring on every month? When you are bringing in new customers to your business is growing. So you want your team members to be doing that as well. So that's an area, if you haven't been sharing that with your team and sharing with them how to get out and meet people, or how to meet people online, and how to add them into their, new customers of people that you meet and want to try your products. When they buy your products, that's when they become a client. Okay, then you have clients. But a customer is somebody that you're out and about that wants to try your product. So be thinking about that. How many of those are you bringing in? Imagine all your team bringing in 10 new customers per month. How would that change for you and your team? Think about that. Then we're talking about bringing guests to opportunity events, to take-a-look calls. Are you bringing 2, 3, 4 guests to take-a-look calls yourself every month consistently? If your team is not bringing anybody then if you're not bringing them, then your team's not going to bring them. Okay, getting a little tongue-tied here today. So bringing guests to every opportunity event is crucial to the growth of your business, and having team members bring them. And that might mean you as a team member has to follow up with your team members. Hey, you were talking about Mary the other day who was interested. Please invite her to our event next week. Making sure that you have as many people on that take-a-look call that you're inviting as well. Hey, Casey, glad you're here today. Okay, so next is follow-up calls, okay? How many follow-up calls? Just write a number. How many follow-up calls have you made every week? Or do you want to make per week? Are you doing like I talk about 5 a day? Okay? But if you can set that pace for your team, where you do 5 a day, your team members do 5 a day, what would that look like, okay, to the growth of your team? What would that look like in the way of getting new bookings? What would that look like in the way of getting higher sales and helping team members accomplish goals? Just that one thing. Think about that. Setting the pace all comes from you leading by example. And then events. How many events are you doing yourself? The events like vendor events, trade shows. Those are important events to grow your business, okay? You don't usually have a lot of sales. So Amy, you asked the question you were asked was, should events be recorded on the team booking calendar or just parties? Well, personally for me, I only wanted parties. It's what you want to see, the growth of your team, okay? because at vendor events and trade shows, they were not a big selling event for me. They were more of gathering new customers, people who had never seen my clothes before, my fashions before. And that's how I truly grew from those events. I truly grew because it's all about building relationships with those people, following up, then getting them to an event. So that for me is what I taught my team how to do, because we did not have a lot of selling at those events. So be thinking about that. I didn't want my team having a lot of inventory and paying for a lot of inventory to have to sell and hope to sell at an event. So that's up to you. That's the choice you make with your team. But events are important. Private appointments, okay? I know I did a lot of private appointments. And if you have team members that are struggling to get bookings as they're not developing the relationships, private appointments is where you truly develop those relationships with people. And that was my job in my head. At every private appointment, I wanted to convert to a booking. So sharing that with your team, this is setting the pace. How many private appointments are you having? Have you even talked about that with your team and shown them how you build that relationship and it evolves into a booking? And then lastly, I just say, here I have a little thing down the bottom that says, how could you increase your pace in each one of these areas today? Because this is truly part of the duplication formula in growing and scaling your business. So be thinking about that. How many bookings per month are you doing? And are you sharing with your team and making sure they know, are you doing the 6-pack yourself? If you want your team to do 6 a month, make sure you're doing it, okay? How many parties a week are you holding that you want your team to duplicate? How about new customers? Have you let your team know that you have a goal of bringing on so many new customers, okay? How many guests are you bringing to opportunity events, okay? It's important that you are bringing guests yourself. If you want the team to grow, you have to let them know that even if you just added a little post that says, today I'm making 5 phone calls to prospects who are and inviting them to my team take a look call this month. Letting the team know that's your journey of sharing your experience of how you're growing your business. Okay. And those events, of course, are important. And follow-ups. How many follow-up calls are you making? You know, it's the phone that gets the business most of the time, because you're building that relationship on the phone with people. You're talking to them. You're interested in them. You want to know about their life. They're interested. When you're interested in them, they become more interested in you. That's how it works, right? Hey, Kiara, glad you're here today. Okay, so, and private appointments. How many private appointments are you holding per month? Okay, so be thinking about these areas, write them down, and set the pace. How many of each one of these do you want to be doing yourself and sharing that with your team so they will pick it up? They'll want to pick up that pace alongside of you because you'll be being successful. And most of you who are on this call today or this live video today, I know each one of you are setting a great pace. But I just want you to take your time and think about your team. And, you know, why don't I have more bookings on my team? Or why are my sales not as high as I want them to be? Or why are we not recruiting enough people? Think about that today, because it's up to you to set the pace. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful for you today. Leave me a comment down below, okay? I also have a little freebie for you today on those daily activity steps. If you haven't gotten that, please download that. It's all the duplication formula is in the Calendar Club team booking system. As I said, we're working on page 30 today. But again, next week, come back next week. we're going to talk a little bit about our communication system next week. And we're going to go through over the next 6 weeks this series on duplicating, on the duplication formula that's going to help you grow and scale your business. Okay, this is the Monday Minute Team Building Tip. I'm signing out. So lovely to see you all on this video today. If you're watching this video later on my YouTube channel, I'd love you to subscribe to the YouTube channel below. In fact, what I'd love each one of you to do is to go to my YouTube channel and ask your team to subscribe. My goal is to get to 100 subscribers. I'm up to 65. Okay, everybody, have a great Monday. Okay, spring is here. Let's make it a really, really strong spring. Love you all. Bye.